weekend, and last night is a big relegation game was on this night. So we're hitting down the final straight. We're on the home straight now. There's 38 matches, isn't that correct? That's the final.
38 matches, yeah.
38 now, so we're down to the final stretch anyway. So we go at the top. Where do you start with at the top? And to me, it looks like the league title is over. Manchester City have a point ahead. Would have a game in hand against Arsenal. Now I know there's two big games coming up tonight and tomorrow night, but so look at that. To me, it looks like even the Arsenal form has slipped away. If Arsenal are winning games and they were only a point behind, you might give them some chance. But to me, and Man City are winning every game. So to me, it looks done and dusted before we even talk about the game tonight and tomorrow night.
Well, a lot of people do think that the results last Wednesday night when City hammered Arsenal 4-1.
Yep.
I mean, I obviously couldn't see the game live. I was working, but I saw the highlights, and it was like men against boys. I think a lot of Arsenal supporters were very disappointed with the way their team performed. They just couldn't get near Man City. Haaland and De Bruyne caused awful damage to that Arsenal defence. They were missing Saliba, one of the best defenders, but Arsenal, Rob Holding, he's just not the same standard. Although I wouldn't blame him entirely because Thomas Partey hasn't been playing well the last couple of weeks either for Arsenal. He's like their defensive midfielder. He's had a fine season, but in the last couple of games, he would just when he needs to be on form for his team, his form has been very, very poor. And then Arsenal weren't playing this weekend, but Man City took full advantage. They were playing away to Fulham. I won 2-1. You know,
but it is a win is a win. It is how this time of the season.
A win is definitely, that's for sure. I mean, what happened earlier on in the season when Arsenal were hosting Manchester City? Man City beat them 3-1, but Manchester City didn't back it up. They went to Forest and got it was a valuable point for Forest, but it was 2 big points dropped from Man City at the time. So the fact that they hammered Arsenal on Wednesday night 4-1, they backed it up, got that one of those games in hand. Now, of course, they're playing tomorrow night against West Ham United, I think, at home. That's a game you expect Man City to win.
And especially if you don't say West Ham, they're on 34 points. They're 4 points clear of the relegation, but 4 points, I think, if they lose that game, which they could be drawn into, you know, so it's a big game for West Ham too.
It is a big game for West Ham. I just feel West Ham might just have enough, though. I think.
Yeah, but we'll just go back to Man City. We can talk about the relegation afterwards. Just go back to Man City.
Yeah, I just feel that, as we were saying the last couple of weeks, they're starting to click into gear. The form there, as you see, it's all greens, it's all wins. Look at Arsenal; they've won, drawn 3, and lost 1. That hitting the bad patch of form at the wrong time. And the one team we don't have bad form, particularly when you're either playing them or they're chasing, is at Manchester City. Liverpool fans will know all about it. They're relentless at this time of year. They're going for the treble. They're in the FA Cup final. They've got a Champions League semi-final against Real Madrid coming up pretty soon. They really are starting to click into the gear now for Man City. And for Pep Guardiola, the manager, he'd be relentless to get this treble done, because the nervous Manchester United had it in 1989. Man City did win a domestic treble, but it ain't the same. A treble isn't really the same without the Champions League. So
the European Cup, Champions League, and that's the big one, Noel, for Guardiola. He was brought in after Barcelona and the success. They brought him to Bayern Munich, who had won the treble, the German Cup, the League, and the European Cup, Champions League. He failed there. He's been brought into Man City, yes, to win the league and dominate at home, but he has really been brought in to win the European Cup final, Champions League final. He's got to one final, but if they don't win that, he will be considered a failure, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the talk over the last couple of weeks has been, have Arsenal bottled it. Manchester City in Europe.
Yep.
I would hold my hands up as a Chelsea fan. That final was there for the taking for Manchester City, and they changed their formation. They didn't start Rodri in that final, which is I found incredible. They started with so many attacking players that night. And if you look at the goal that we got, it was a pass from Mason Mount straight into Kai Havertz through the gaping hole in the middle of the field. And before we knew it, we were 1-0 up. And to be honest with you, Man City in Europe, they've always sort of made a mess of it. You know, the year with COVID, I think they lost 3-1 to Lyon. They lost against Tottenham another year where they thought that the game won, and a goal from Sterling was brought back for a VAR decision. So yeah, Manchester City, they wouldn't be known as any big. A big club has to win the European Cup. If we're going for league titles, yes, at home you can dominate, but you need to get a European Cup on the table. For a lot of fans, they feel you need a European Cup behind you.
Well, for history as well, we say, when you're dominating your own, particularly one of the major leagues, and England is one of the major leagues, if you're dominating that, which they are doing, you just have to do it if you want to be marked down as an outstanding great team. No other word about it, in my opinion.
I think Greg, you and the players know that. I think they know they have to win a European Cup to be considered to be one of the greats. I mean, when you look at a player in Haaland, I mean, he's got 50 goals this season. I think there was a player in is it Dixie
Dean scored 60 goals for Everton way back in the day.
That's right, yeah. And that's amazing. And no one, I mean, I thought I would never see in my lifetime in England, anyway, a player could get near that record. Was this guy is doing what he's been brought in to do. He's scoring goals left, right, and centre, penalties, headers, left, right, left foot, right foot, everything. I think the only thing he hasn't scored this season is a free kick, as far as I can remember.
So he's the same as me, didn't know. Both of us had never scored a free kick in the top stop again.
Yeah, it's just amazing what he's been doing. I mean, they've scored 84 goals in the season. And, and in all competitions, he scored 50, and I think he scored something like 34 league goals.
Yeah.
I think he's equal the record of Andy Cole and Aaron Shearer for the most league goals in a season, and he's still got 6 games to play.
You mean in the Premiership you're talking about? Oh no, is it overall? Is it?
In the Premiership, yeah. I think it's 34 league goals in the Premiership.
Yeah.
For a player that he equaled with Andy Cole and Alan Shearer. Andy Cole was at Newcastle, and Alan Shearer was at Blackburn Rovers, I believe.
Yeah. So if you look at Arsenal, and again, and we talk about sports as well, the two London clubs, and we won't talk much about Chelsea maybe now, but Arsenal, look, most people knew they probably weren't going to hold them off, but most of their own supporters would be very disappointed the way they have completely collapsed. Yeah, it isn't just Man City winning all their games that they're doing, but Arsenal have just completely gone flat as a pancake.
They have, and like a lot of debate now with Arsenal fans is this season going to be a success? And people said no. It's progress, yes, massive progress to go from 5th to be even challenged for a title, because like everybody at the start of the season hadn't a hope of Arsenal winning the league. Let's spade here. But the fact that they've gotten so close, and if they there's still a couple of games if they go. Man City can still drop points. They have to go to Brighton, Brentford. I think they've got us at home, so I wouldn't be.
Yeah, but the Arsenal form is so poor. That's the thing. If Arsenal are winning games, you'd give them a chance. Maybe if Man City maybe slip up, but their form is terrible. Their
form is terrible. The wrong time, the worst time of the year you can be doing bad form is in closing stages. When Arsenal have only got, I think, 5. The game on tonight against Chelsea at home. Chelsea, they have to win that really. But after that, they've only got 4 games.
Sorry, we're cutting across you. So who are Arsenal playing tonight? We can just have a quick word about that.
It's Arsenal Chelsea tonight. Arsenal are at home, 8:00 kickoff. And Chelsea season has been terrible, but if there's one game the fans, and particularly myself, if there's one game the fans want, or the Chelsea supporters expect the Chelsea to turn up, it's tonight.
Yes.
If they go to Arsenal with a whimper, it'll be Chelsea have already lost 13 games. The pressures on Arsenal, they'd be expected to beat Chelsea tonight.
Yeah.
Chelsea can't buy a goal left, right, center.
Yeah.
The goal of the month was the only goal they got in April. So that shows you how bad our attack is at the moment. So you have to expect the Arsenal to beat us. But the way Arsenal are defending, even a team as bad as an attack as ours could actually cause them problems. You never know.
Yeah. No, we look now, and again, I have to take my head up to Newcastle. At the start of the season, you'll be saying if someone's going to fall apart, it's Newcastle. But obviously, there's something else, Scott, and it's more than just the money. There's a bit of backbone there. They lost one game about 4, but they've come back with 3 wins in a row. They're secured in 3rd place. I know that Manchester United have a game in hand, but still, they're secured in 3rd place. I think they're almost nailed on to be in the top 4. So, and to come back after that defeat with 3 wins in a row, that's a real good sign for Newcastle going forward, in my opinion.
Yeah, they've got just looking at top 4, they've got the same amount of games played as Liverpool, and I think it's 9 points ahead of them. 65 to 56.
And there's 5 games left.
And there's 5 games left. So Liverpool, of course, won last night against Tottenham 4-3. Great game against Tottenham. But I just think Liverpool are making the push too late. So I think Newcastle will get, even if they hit a bit of bad form, maybe draw 1 or 2, I still think they'll make it. Manchester United is the same. Yeah, I think top 4. I think Newcastle are. I think they're safe enough, Paul. I think they'll get there. And I think United will have enough too much as well. I think Liverpool had started the charge maybe 2 or 3 weeks earlier.
Yeah.
If they had maybe 4 more points,
Yes.
to be right on the coattails.
Oh, there would be, yeah, and the pressure would come on then. But if we
Yeah.
talk about Liverpool, in fairness to them, we said a few weeks ago they were down in 7th or 8th. We said they would have to probably win all their games to a minimum 5th. And in fairness to them, they won 4 in a row, and it looks they're going to probably finish 5th. I can see them finishing 5th because they have games in hand and they're ahead of the teams below them. So I know Brighton have 2 games in hand on them, but still Brighton are what? They're 4 points, but Brighton I think are not going to. They're kind of hit and miss now. So in fairness to Liverpool, you have to admit, as you said, they'll probably started too late to make the top 4, but they're definitely going to finish 5th.
Yeah, I think so. I think Brighton's one of the Brighton's games in hand is on Thursday night at home to Manchester United. So that's right. Manchester United in hand to have a Newcastle as well. That's going to be a tough game for United.
Yeah.
So because of course they met in the FA Cup and drew 0 on in a game that maybe Brighton might have edged. Like, but I think the charge that Liverpool are making is just a little bit too late. Tottenham are they went 3-0 down against. No, they went 5-0 down inside 22 minutes against Newcastle. And the following week, Sunday, they went 3-0 down inside 20 minutes at Anfield. I mean, this is now fair enough. They came back and leveled it 3-3 just in the night in injury time. They gave away such a sloppy goal for the 4th goal for Liverpool. I mean, the term Spurs. I mean, I don't know how Spurs fans cope sometimes.
No, they're well used to it. If you go back over the years, they're well used to these kind of results.
Yeah. But the teams of the past, I hear talking about teams of the past, Bill Nicholson and teams of the 50s and 60s.
No, that was the team back in the 60s. Sorry, no, again, I'm sure my old age now. But that great sports team won the double back in 61. They were an outstanding team, outstanding players. But when I started watching soccer first, I became aware of it in the mid-70s. Spurs were always known as a cup team. And they won the cup in 81. They won it in 91, beat Nottingham Forest. They had success in Europe. But when it came in the league, if they got anywhere near it at all, they get that panic and walk away.
Yeah, you couldn't trust them, and they haven't got a manager like same as Chelsea. Two I would say badly run clubs at the moment, Chelsea and Tottenham, and you can see it where they are and the performing on the table, and the way on field, on the pitch. If a club isn't right, everything happens on the pitch as well. So Tottenham and Chelsea, big summers for Tottenham and Chelsea at the moment, but Tottenham more so because I don't think the stadium cost something like $1 billion. They wouldn't have the money that maybe the Chelsea owners have. So it's a big summer for Tottenham coming up this summer. They have to they could lose Harry Kane to Man United. He's been linked with him for a number. He was linked with Manchester City.
Yes, I know. I presume he's going to go eventually because end of the day they'll probably need money to bring in other players. He's like if he doesn't go now, if they don't sell him now in a year or 2 time, his value will go down because of his age. They're going to have to cash in, I think now. So the odds are they're going to have to sell him. If they want to bring in new players, they're going to have to do what I would say.
Oh yeah, but Daniel Levy will stretch every sterling as much as he can for a player like that because he's a man that he's very much a businessman. He will try and get as much money for Harry Kane as he can. If he doesn't want to sell him, but if he has to, he will absolutely get as much as he can for him.
Yeah.
But look at the rest of the table. Up Villa lost against United. They're down in 7th.
But Villa had a good season overall. I think in fairness,
they've had a great season.
Yeah.
They've had a great season.
Second
Steven Gerrard, Unai Emery, the job that Emery has done has been fantastic. I mean, the fact they were down near the relegation zone when Gerrard got sacked, and the job he has done has been fantastic. Looking at Bournemouth won a